Do it for Christ. Only got one life. Got one shot at this, I gotta do it right. Yeah, I gotta do it right. Yeah, gotta do it right. Yeah. Do it for Christ. Only got one life. Got one shot at this, I gotta do it right. Yeah, I gotta do it right. Time to throw in the towel. I've been holding on this for a while. I'm moving on my own skin. Crocodile, yeah, I'm washed in the blood. Made new, can't tell who I was. He saved me by grace. He did it just because. Yeah, my flesh was on E. Had to fill it with the spirit. God, I'm complete. Secretly in prayer, gotta keep it real discreet. All the verses they don't write on God breathe. Yeah. Christ.
Hey, what up, family? It's Wealthy Marriage Wednesday. Y'all know what time it is. We didn't come to play with y'all. Once again, we just want to say one thing. It's Wealthy Marriage Wednesday. You are welcome for this broadcast.
Yes.
It's a lot of love that goes out for you because we love y'all so much. Y'all are so special. You're so important to us.
Yes.
Look at Joy smile. I ain't seen her smile like that all day long.
Yes, you have.
No. Okay, yeah, I did. She been smiling like that all day. But I want you all to feel special because we love you. And so we are here on Wealthy Marriage Wednesday, and we got a really good topic to talk about because you want to talk about real estate all the time.
Yeah.
We want to talk about marriage and being lovey-dovey and all up in each other's face. But you said no. Don't be all up in each other's face playing Snuggles, playing Mr. Snuggles, Mrs. Snuggles, all on the TV. You wanted some real estate game. Well, guess what? The only thing we like talking about slightly more than we like talking about playing snuggle face and marriage stuff is talking about real estate.
That's right.
Well, actually, we like talking about Jesus, snuggle face,
and real estate.
Yeah. So grab your boo, grab somebody you like to snuggle with, and y'all talk about this real estate with us. Share this broadcast out. Make sure you share it with somebody you care about. Hey, and then if you don't got a snuggle partner, hey, shoot, you get enough of these rental properties, you're going to find you a snuggle partner. I'm not playing. Somebody going to want to get with it. So we're going to be talking about today craftsmanship. We believe that the two most important things you can do as a real estate investor or a person who's providing affordable housing, doing redevelopments. We do the redevelopment in our own neighborhood.
We do.
But the top two things you need to learn how to do and do it as well as you can is to buy right. You got to buy right.
Yes.
You got to buy stuff that can be fixed up and you got to do it at the right price. And so we help couples do that all the time. We help guide you to the right formula for you.
Yes.
And then the next one is you got to be able to fix stuff up right. You just can't fix it up a little. You got to fix that mug up all the way right. And there's a formula for that, just like there's a formula for anything else.
It is.
And so we're going to talk about that because we are in the redevelopment business. So there's the development side, which is where you build something from the ground up.
Right.
And then there's the redevelopment side where something's already been built and you take it and you fix it up as if it was brand new. Now, there's a lot of traps in that, and we're going to talk about some of that today. And hopefully you can learn from our experiences and some of the things that we have done horribly wrong. And we're going to share it transparently for your viewing pleasure. And then also, hopefully you can learn from some of the things that we've done pretty well.
Right. I think we have a lot of examples of that.
All right. So this is your shot.
Yes.
And so we covered up right now on this part talking about artful versus awful. And these are your Craftsmanship Chronicles today. So this is sponsored by the Fire Real Estate Investing Mentorship. Coach John and Joy guiding you to the place. Maybe you got some things that you want to achieve in real estate. You want to get there a little bit faster.
Right.
Well, that's why we created this program, is because we didn't see anything out there for couples, specifically designed for couples that said, hey, you can do this together. I don't want to be able to know something that Joy don't know. Joy don't want to know something I don't know. So we wanted to learn together. So we help couples to learn this thing together.
That's right.
And so, but this show is all about the freedom formula, because you want to be free.
Oh, yes. Free, because we turning time into money.
Turning money into assets.
And turning assets into freedom.
Freedom to do what, Joy? You done sang the song. Now you done sang the song.
Do what?
Your voice is phenomenal. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Don't nobody sing like you, girl. All right, so check it out. Freedom to do the thing that God put you on this earth to do. Right. Whatever it is, don't ask me, ask him, and he'll show you. All right, next up, we got to tell you, this is your disclaimer for the day. Hey, if somebody is thrown under the bus by these videos, it's going to be us first and then maybe somebody else. We mean no shade or offense. If you see some of your property on here, don't be sitting up here talking about John and Joy hating. Nuh-uh. I got my stuff up on here. Good, the bad, the ugly. We're going to talk about it today, but this is for your educational, informational purposes only. Do your own research. Please do your own research. Know that everything we're showing you, we've seen some success and failure with. So we're going to show you openly and honestly from our playbook and those who we trust in this game. And there's a lot of them. All right, so next. So this is why we're talking about fixing properties up right. Oh, wow. Somebody just fixed this house up. Right. Painted it all black, put a red door on it. Oh, wow. And then within a few months, this mug is being torn down. And that's just the obvious example of something that is in ungood craftsmanship. And so legitimate, it's real talk, man. This is real time stuff we're giving you. Oh, wow. And the difference between craftsmanship and doing it the right way the first time and not doing it right could be the difference between your property still standing or your property being torn down because of the lack of craftsmanship and the horrible thing that it's doing in the community. Do you want to be a horrible person in your community who tears it down, or do you want to be a person who just by riding past one of your beautiful properties, the whole community is now better? Yeah. And so I prefer to be the latter. You know what I'm saying? Let us be the ones that do a little bit extra, because for me and Joy, we invest in our own neighborhoods. Yeah. Place where we live. We want to enhance and improve the quality of life and the quality of housing in the neighborhoods that we live and work. And so, you know, our mission statement, you do what you do, but we're going to share with you a few things because I don't know about you. I don't want your properties to end up like this here because somebody said, I'm going to put some paint on it. I'm going to throw some cheap floors in. I'm going to leave the old electrical. I'm going to leave the old roof. And then this is what's going to happen to your property 20, 30, 40,000, 50,000, $100,000 later. That's crazy. If you do not use good craftsmanship. This is an important topic. It really is. This is a 2025 pick of a freshly done house that's being torn down from horrible craftsmanship. And so don't be this person. Don't be these people who tearing stuff down. Be the people who are getting it right. But I'm going to tell you, even if you think so, when you're getting started in real estate, or even if you've been doing it for a while, if you're not careful, you'll make some key mistakes and some things won't go right. Yeah. And if you're not careful, you can really end up in a bad spot. So you have to keep a very close attention on details. Yeah. And I know we talk about details, but being detail oriented, because sometimes something will look good and it's all good until it ain't good.
Right. And you also, to John's point, like making good choices about materials and rehabbing it, doing it properly. Like that is so important because like he just showed you that example. It could be torn down if if you go the cheap way, you cut corners. Look, it's not worth it. No corners cut. And trust me, I guarantee you, we've cut plenty of corners. We had to find out the hard way that cutting corners don't work. It don't. We outsmarted everybody too. We got master's degrees in business. Yeah. And so both of us, we look at a spreadsheet and we like, hold on, we can say this and do that and do this, and we can get a better return on this. Yeah. And we think we so stinking smart. And then somebody who barely got out of high school, who got 300 houses and been doing it for years, tells you what you're doing ain't working. Exactly. It ain't never going to work. Right. Because they seen a bunch of super smart people like you, like us, whoever else, who came in and thought they were going to outsmart the system of constructing a house in craftsmanship. Right. You can't outsmart craftsmanship. It just is what it is. Paul was Paul in the Bible, the Apostle Paul, he was a tent maker. He's basically a builder. Yeah, right. I bet he was a hard builder. I bet he had attention to detail. I bet he did it right. I'm going to show you some examples today and hopefully some things that you think will be good for you. And so let's talk about this right here. I'm gonna give you an example. Can I give y'all an example? Just give me an example in the chat. Somebody say, give me an example.
I'm putting it in the chat. Give me an example. Only the people who want it. Because
Come on.
now we're gonna show you a few things. All right, so I'm gonna
Okay.
see, we said it. We put it in the chat. See, we put it in the chat. All right, so we're gonna put this up here, and you tell us
Right.
which picture is the before and which picture is the after. Before and after. We're doing a before and an after. Before and an after. I see you. Margaret said, give me an example. I see it. Margaret said, give me an example. We give you the example, Margaret. We ain't gonna play with you today. Hey, which one is before and which one is after? So the one on the left is the one with the stuff, and then and then there's an after. And so because we talk about craftsmanship, we say, okay. Okay. All right. Here we say you want an example. We got the example for you right here. We're not even playing with you.
What you
All right.
think?
So tell me what you think. I know many of you are thinking like I was thinking, that the example on the left was the after, and the example on the right was the before. But you are bing, 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 bing. Incorrect. Okay, yeah. This is what happens with poor craftsmanship. Poor craftsmanship says, I'm going to throw some paint on it. I'm going to put some floors over it. I might even put a little backsplash up. But what we end up with is a whole hot mess, because if the plumbing isn't right, if the electrical isn't right, if there's issues with the wood and the framing and the foundation, it does not anyway. She said the right is before. Oh, so you missed that. Yeah. So the right is after. And what happened was there was poor craftsmanship on the front end. And so it all had to be torn out, re-put up the proper way later. The only thing worse than paying somebody too much, and you feel like you ever paid somebody and you be like, I know this person does good work, but man, it just hurts how much that I'm getting charged. And so you like, I'm gonna get the cheapest person to do this, like, because if I get a cheaper person, I feel like I'm getting a good deal, and then it visually looks the same. But visually looks the same is not good craftsmanship, because this looks like it's going to work, but it didn't work. And so that's the difference. What we're here to show you today is that just because something looks good to the naked eye, if you're not paying attention to the details, you're going to end up with, once again, you're going to end up with one of these tear down properties. And our real life example that we just shared with y'all is actually one of our properties. And so this is one that we did a long time ago, made it look good, and it lasted for a few years until what we didn't know behind the scenes
and above in the ceiling
and behind it ended up being a whole mess. And so we got it all the way right, now, of course, but just the real deal is knowing what to look for. So we're going to show you a little video here. It's a little video that hopefully you take a look at one thing here, and y'all tell me what's
going on. We got the floor.
Let's see.
It's coming up. It's here, right up here.
All right, so what you're going to see right here is some floors. At a glance, the floors look great, but then at a closer look, the floors are coming up.
As we're walking out, all these planks are,
look at that,
in the master bedroom.
See that? See the planks? You see the peeling?
To take a look at that.
So it all looks good. So we're going to give you tip number one when it comes to craftsmanship. And this is craftsmanship for a daycare person and a restaurant manager. So you are getting a daycare person and restaurant manager who spent the last 7, 8 years doing real estate. We know because we didn't know what to look for until we found out what to look for. You're going to need to ask some questions, for one. And then always check the details.
Really, checking the details really matters, because, like you said, if you don't get down and look at the stuff, make sure it's flush, then you get what you just, the example that you just saw.
Poor craftsmanship. Craftsmanship. And so, for one, buying the right materials, but also going to ask some questions. And so, get down on the floor, wipe your hands on stuff, wipe your hands on the walls, look around. You are the best weapon that you have as a person who's paying somebody is questions.
Right.
Somebody write that in the chat. Ask the question. So when you ask the questions, you get to ask as many questions as you can. And so you have questions, and the fact that you are paying is going to be the number one thing. And so whenever you're the one writing the check, before you give somebody a check, you want to make sure that what you're paying them for is done well. If not, you're not going to see this person again for a long time.
That's right.
No disrespect, but it's just what's going to happen. You have to make sure if somebody doesn't do something up to the quality standard that you agreed to at the beginning, don't pay them until they get it right. And then when they get it right, pay them as fast as you can. Be the fastest, most loving, paying person ever. But make sure that punch list is done, and make sure it's done quality.
And really, you are what it stands in between the artful versus the awful craftsmanship.
And so this is a real deal. This is a hard lesson to learn.
It really is.
We've had a lot of smart people, good people who make good money, people high level professionals, and they get in here and they think they can slap a coat of paint on something and some floors, and it's just all good. And we're here to tell you it might be all good for 5 minutes, and then the tenant's going bad. You're going to end up spending 3 times as much fixing that property. So always take care of your plumbing, take care of the things behind the scenes, the electrical. Make sure you're structurally sound. Make sure before you have to, those floors that we just showed you all, and we're getting excited now, but the floors that we just showed you all, the reason they were jacked up, it had nothing to do with the flooring.
Nope.
It had everything to do with what was underneath the flooring. The subfloor was not right. And so before you even deal with the flooring, you have to deal with the subfloor. That's the difference between craftsmanship and actually laying the floor. So you can lay the floor and make it look okay for a minute, but when it all breaks up, and then after 6 months, you have to go replace a whole room of your brand new flooring that you just bought.
It's like the foundation. Situation. Your foundation has to be solid, and that's on anything you do. I mean, look now.
Oh, come on, build on a strong foundation. Come on, Joy. Come on, Pastor Joy.
Needs to be on a strong foundation.
On a strong foundation. All right, so let's keep going because we got some really good stuff for you all, and I'm very, very excited about it. So I'm going to add this in. Check this out. Look at this right here. Look at that right there. Y'all see this right here? Okay, so if you look in here, if you see a hot mess like this in one of your properties, you got to understand one thing. No matter what kind of craftsmanship you think you're dealing with, real craftspeople clean up after themselves. I'm just telling you for a fact. And so you're going to know good craftsmanship because people who have a level of excellence, they do everything with a level of excellence.
That's right.
So look around at your project. If you got somebody who you're thinking about hiring, go see if they're clean and neat. If they take time to straighten up and have their stuff looking nice and neat, their tools nice and organized, the place swept up, things are clean, it ain't stuff everywhere. These are signs of professionalism. These are signs that you're dealing with probably a more higher caliber person, and a person who's paying attention to those details. And that's the kind of person that you want. Now, let me share something here with you all that may help you to be able to see. I know many of you would look at this metal and be like, this is so nice. And for whatever reason, all right. So this is a post that we did not long ago. So you see this nice black metal. So since then, we've, taken the trees down, and we're going to paint the outside and, put in new windows and stuff like that. And all that stuff is in progress. But this is a new roof, and these is the metal that's around the wood. Well, at a glance, it all looked good. But then all I can see is, why is this bent right here? Something nobody else would notice, but it just bothers me. So we're going to have to get that right. But all in all, it's coming along. All right, so what'll happen with that little bend right there is that it may fall off. And what I found out is that the contractor didn't put enough nails in it's called drip edge, but it's right on the edge of the roof, and it keeps the water flowing the way the water's supposed to run. So then you got this property and the water's not flowing right. There ends up being some kind of challenges with the drainage. challenges with water getting intrusion. This could be a really bad situation.
Yes.
And even though it's a small thing, if you pay attention to those details, for one, people are going to respect you and they're going to know you care. And then the second part is you're going to make sure that you have a much better property.
Absolutely.
So make sure you're following up on those type of things. It is important. And this is a good example here. Check that out. Do you see what that is? This little tool will save you a lot of money.
Yes.
So this right here is called an electrical tester. And so you see these two little red orange lights on the side means that the plug is a good plug.
Right.
And so I dare you to go around your own personal house with this little plug. It costs maybe like $10 at Harbor Freight. Go to Harbor Freight, you can buy one. And it'll tell you if your electricity is wired right. Because the real deal is if your electricity isn't wired right, you can end up in some bad problems. There's houses that are getting burned down. There are houses that are having some significant issues if the electrical isn't right. So make sure that your properties have the right electrical, and that's going to make a difference. And if you're planning on renting affordably, or if you have any kind of inspection process, they're going to be plugging into each one of those outlets to make sure it's right. So good craftsmanship. If you plug it in the outlet wiggles, that's unsafe. If you plug it and the lights don't come on right, that's unsafe. If you plug it in and there's a little button that you click, if you click that button, it's supposed to trip the breaker. And that means that your electrical breaker box is supposed to stop your house from burning down. So if you click that and the breaker doesn't trip, or the GFI doesn't trip, then you know that your house may burn down. And so no matter how beautiful it may look on the outside, if it burns down, it ain't no more good.
Believe me.
So buy yourself a little tester, test all your outlets and get some practice. Okay, so ultimately, as you get better and better with craftsmanship, this is a house that we currently have on the market. As we began to get better and better with craftsmanship, we started, as you can see, putting in better lights. We started putting in nice, beautiful cabinets. You see the refinished hardwood floors. You know, you start to see the electrical outlets every time we're in a property, whether it's a rental property or a flip. We always put in new outlets and plugs and switches so that we know we want the next 15 years, we want that property to be really low maintenance property. And in order to do that, we are rolling out the red carpet. Okay. And so you want the red carpet treatment on your properties.
All we want you to have to do is change in filters for your furnace. That's it.
Right. So this is a rental property. We actually ended up listing it because it looked too good. So we got done with a rental. And then we was like, forget that, man. Somebody should be living in here. And so we said we're going to sell it. So, it's just like that sometimes. And we actually have a contract. They should be closing next week. But I'm excited about this person. But they're living in what we have as a rental property, which is replacing all the windows, not putting junk windows in there, making sure that we get good doors in there, always have doors that open, close, and lock. Always, we put in LED lights. Some people put in a regular light fixture with LED bulbs. That's acceptable also. You see the fresh hinges in here. It just looks clean. It works good. For us, we like our stuff to be done at a certain level. You can't see the tile backsplash, but it is there. We put a sprayer in, stainless steel appliances. This is literally a standard kit for us. And so, go get the cabinets that you like, and then use your standard kit. This is a house that we sold, but the craftsmanship was still pretty solid. We look at the hardwood floors, we look at the, open concept situation going on, white cabinets. I mean, just doing it with a level of detail. And what we can say is all the behind the scenes stuff, it was great. But what we're most proud of is that underneath, there's things that we did to the crawl space. We waterproofed the crawl space just to make sure that the resident of the property had a great experience. And so these are things that nobody gives you credit for. But if you're really a person who wants to get it right, you're going to do good craftsmanship, no matter if it costs you a little bit or not. And if you want to learn good craftsmanship in greater detail, we'd be glad to guide you there, with the rest of the couples who are practicing that very same thing. And so we have our financially independent, retire early through real estate investing specifically. We're real estate mentors. We love to mentor couples and help them to become financially independent through real estate investing. And we only do it together. Why? Because it's so much better together. And so be an artisan, be artful, be beautiful. God bless y'all. We love y'all. And we'll see y'all next week.
Bye.